Ladies and gentlemen, patriots and truth seekers, welcome to another explosive edition, late night edition of the Next News Network's Raw Feed. I'm your host, Gary Franchi, and buckle up because what we're about to dive into tonight will shake you to your core. We're coming to you live, broadcasting you to millions worldwide on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Let me tell you, the energy in the studio is electric. We've got a tsunami of breaking news that the mainstream media will not touch with a 10-foot pole. But before we dive in, I need you to do something crucial. Grab your phone right now and text this live stream link to everyone that you know. We need to bypass the algorithm and get this information out there. The truth stops here unless you share it. Now listen up. We've got a special feature on our show where we interact with you, our viewers, in real time. Your voice matters, and we want to hear your reactions to today's bombshells. So keep those comments coming, and don't forget to send in your Rumble rants to be featured, yes, the best ones, featured on the air. But you got to pony up to support the program. And speaking of Rumble, if you're not following us there, what are you waiting for? Head over to Rumble right now and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single second of what we have in store tonight. And are you following on X? Well, why not? You really need to get over there. You'll know why. Now, let me give you a taste of what's coming up. We've got exclusive intel and a potential threat to Trump Force One that will make your hair stand on end. New York City's political landscape is imploding as we speak, and the battle for free speech is heating up with some unexpected players entering the ring. And hold on to your seats because the drama surrounding the Trump case in Georgia has taken a wild turn. Nathan Wade, a key figure in the investigation, is now on the run from U.S. Marshals after dodging a subpoena. This is the kind of story that makes you question everything about the justice system. But here's the thing, folks. We can't keep bringing you this hard-hitting news without your support. The powers that be are working overtime to shut us down, to silence the truth. And we need your help to keep this operation running. If you believe in what we are doing, if you want to support real, unfiltered journalism, then please consider making a donation. The link is in the description below. Remember, when you support the Next News Network, you're not just supporting a show, you are defending the First Amendment. You are standing up for truth in an era of lies. You are part of a movement that refuses to be silenced. So are you ready to dive into the stories they don't want you to hear? Are you prepared to have your eyes opened and your mind blown? Then stick with us because the Raw Feed starts now. This is Gary Franchi, and you're watching the Next News Network. Now, let's welcome you to the show. Who do we have here tonight? Why don't you chime in with your location, city, state, and device? Smartphone, laptop, tablet, smart TV, John, St. Louis on a tablet, that kind of thing. Let's see what we got here. We got Peter is here, and Robert is here, and construction is here, and we got Philip is here, Melissa's here, Neil, Gray, and Roscoe Treat, and Karen, and Terry, and Lauren, and Shorty, and Army Ranger, and Alan, and Bennett, and Adrian, and Nunya, and Charles. Gigi is here, and Kimmy is here. No Shades of Gray, and Mac J is here. Anthony, Pothead Kenny, what's up, man? And we got Kipper Lane in the house. We got Shirley, Harold, and Raymond. We got Lucy and A Squad. We got Trump America 2024. Ocean Breeze Salty. We got Strange Marvel Theories. Lori Norris and Donna Hardy is here. We got Dennis and Patsy and Shore U is here. We got Robert Henry M. We got Brad. We got Black Clover Digital in the house. We got Mike as well. Raymond Hagens. What's up, Raymond? We got Jan and Clipper. We got Sherry. We got Miss V. We got Lauren S. Roscoe Treat and Patricia. Got all these great patriots coming at you. Charles Perry is here. Kerry, Studio 50530. Carla, Fireball Robbie. What's up, North Carolina? We got Stephanie and Reginald Stevenson. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Amen to that. We got Gil in the house. Jigsaw Life. Divine Creation is here. Carol, MM, Patricia, Rusty, Mike, James. We got Terry. We got Roscoe. We got Rocky Stallone. That's funny. We got Barry in here. Oh, Barry. Come on, man. Really, Barry? Is that really your screen name? Barry McCockiner? Okay, I said it. Yes, it's a late night edition of the Raw Feed here. Anything goes, apparently. We got Patricia here. We got Margot. We got Alan. We got Daddy's Darling. We got Divine Creation. Rumblebot is here. And you better obey the mods because they will drop that hammer on you faster than you can craft up a word salad from Kamala Harris's kitchen. We got Jamie here. I mean, everybody's here. Jeff is here. Sandra and Miss Vicky 56. Maria. My goodness, everybody's in the house tonight. It is great to see everybody. It feels like a Friday. I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? Can someone tell me a date? It's Thursday. Man. We are almost at Friday, folks. And the week's almost over. But the threats don't stop. So let's get into our first story because this is why you guys are here. You guys want to hear what's going on. We got to set the stage, though, with some... we got to preface the story a little bit before we get into it. And if you're watching live, you get to see it all unfold. Of course, we do release these segments on the channel. So if you want to catch them later or share the specific segments later, you have the opportunity to do that. Okay, let's jump into this. Patriots, brace yourselves for a shocking revelation that strikes at the heart of our nation's security. We've received alarming intelligence about a potential threat to Trump Force One. Multiple sources confirm that surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled across our southern border, allegedly intended for a strike against the former president's aircraft. This is not another conspiracy theory, folks. We're talking about credible threats that have reached the highest levels of our government. The question is, who is behind this, and how deep does this rabbit hole go? Now, listen up, Patriots. Our country is facing unprecedented threats, and not just from our sky. Our national debt has skyrocketed past $35 trillion. We're in a financial nosedive, borrowing just to pay interest. Meanwhile, gold is soaring past $2,400 an ounce. Smart money is abandoning paper for real wealth, gold and silver, just like our Constitution intended. Now, if you've got funds sitting in a low-interest account or retirement plans, it's time to act. Call that number you see. Global Gold Investments. It's 888-700-4148. Mention Next News for VIP treatment and a free 2024 wealth protection guide. Don't wait. If you don't have gold, you do not have wealth. That number again, 888-700-4148, or visit iragoldproof.com. It's linked down below. Okay, let's set the stage here because this is very important news. I received a text message from a dear friend today who tipped me off to this news. And at first I'm like, come on, man, this has just got to be a joke. I mean, this has got to be some, I messaged General Flynn. I said, General Flynn, have you heard this news? And he literally responded. And I asked him, I said, General Flynn, have you heard the stories about the reports smuggled surface-to-air missiles intended for Trump's plane in Iran? He said, I saw the reports, pretty crazy, really, but so aren't 2 assassination attempts. Now, we also know there are 5 assassination groups that are in the United States. And okay, now let's just set the stage. Before this report hit my desk today, this happened just days ago. This is from News Nation. All right. So for the YouTube minders out there that want to suppress this information and call it conspiracy or whatever, let's go to a mainstream source that's going to verify the information that we're talking about. Okay.
Mexico. Shocking discovery, really representing what CBP is calling a drastic escalation in the type of weaponry being used over in Mexico. So we were able to exclusively obtain an internal alert that went out to Border Patrol. Now, this alert said that 4 rocket-propelled grenades, or RPGs, and 8 improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, were found, along with a large amount of ammunition within a scout site that was also dismantled by Mexican officials.
U.S. law enforcement should be concerned for their safety, especially along the border, because those missiles and those weapons easily come across the border. They do have the resources, and in fact, they do have the capabilities and will use them against us, especially when we go in the next couple of months, depending on what happens in this political atmosphere. They have the capabilities to fight back.
So I pulled that directly from the News Nation TikTok account. So for anyone who wants to start screaming conspiracy theory, guess what? That is an official report. All right. So just suck it, would you? Now, Health Ranger reporting here that Ann Vandersteel confirming it's 9 surface-to-air missile systems, which are now in the hands of kill teams targeting Trump. This is the quantity that has already been distributed to 3 kill teams, meaning they each have 3 missiles. Pray for Trump's safety. Now, what set this off was the text message I received earlier today, linking me to this Ann Vandersteel message. And again, my initial reaction was this can't be real. Okay, but I had to dig deeper, and once I started digging deeper, I said there is some validity to these allegations. Ann Vandersteel breaking all hands on deck. Intelligence just in from the southern border. 9 surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled into the U.S. across the New Mexico border. Okay, so after I read this message, I said, okay, we got to find out what's the source? Where is this coming from? And I found it. I'm going to play for you the actual source of Ann Vandersteel, where this came from. Intended target Trump Force One, a confidential human source relayed to Doc Pete Chambers and B.A. Baz Ark. Unconfirmed possible Iranian origin 3-man teams intended to take delivery of the missiles. Members of Congress have been captured, standing next to members of the cartel taking pictures. She speculates an operation this size would require insider help, upper-level management, perhaps the intel community and or DOJ. The Sinaloa cartel is the only known organization capable of facilitating an operation of this scope. 45. Trump's team knows. Trump tweeted about it. Americans are standing up, and we are the white hats you are waiting for. God bless America and God bless Trump. Now, she links to the screenshot of Donald Trump that was posted on September 25th. Big threats on my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves were already made by Iran that didn't work out, but they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I am surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I have ever seen before. Thank you to Congress for unanimously approving far more money to Secret Service. 0 no votes, strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something. An attack on a former president is a death wish for the attacker. Okay, so I had to keep digging for this. And as you know, there's a lot of rhetoric that is continuing to be
what he says is the opposite. It's just another lie. Like, how did we get here? Let's extinguish him for good. We have an answer. We have a
That's the rhetoric coming from the left. Now, you guys want to see it. You guys want to see the original source for this information. Here it is. If you're following me on X, you already know 2 separate intel reports have confirmed the presence of 9 surface-to-air missiles of possible Iranian origin smuggled into the U.S. via New Mexico. These missiles, designed for low-altitude attacks, are believed to target former President Trump's plane. A highly disturbing revelation from Dr. Pete Chambers. All right, you ready? Let's listen to his account.
What's going on? So on the evening of the 22nd of September, that would be Sunday, we got 2 separate reporting streams that came through. And then, one of these came from Boz's side, and I'll let him explain that one. Those reporting streams were not connected to each other. This is important to understand. When we're looking at information that comes to us, we want to make sure that, what's the validity, the veracity of the information that we're getting. These were not connected. Both of these reporting streams had access of placement to information, which then corroborated once we all started talking and saying, what's going on here? And this one particular one from our side was a confidential informant that we have that works on the border. We do get information from here down in Texas all the way over to San Ysidro, California. So this one came out of the New Mexico area of operations. It's not our particular locale, but the informant was working that location and has the ability to access and place himself into nefarious networks on the border. So when he intercepted this information that, and this is, bottom line up front, that 9 surface-to-air missiles of possible Iranian origin, we don't know, I don't have hands-on, but surface-to-air missiles have crossed into the United States at a New Mexico point of entry. Now, that's going to lead us to a lot of supposition here, but we have to understand that this information was too specific not to take notice and to disseminate it. We operate on the find, fix, and finish, analyze, exploit, or expose, and then analyze these things and to disseminate. That's what we do, F3EAD. It appears that, based upon this reporting, that the identified target is the former president Trump's plane, his airplane. And this is why it reached to the highest levels of anything that we've touched down here. Typically, we're looking at, chasing down narco terrorists or, trying to pull kids out of bad places. This one went way above and beyond. The presence, and this is the other corroboration, that there's a presence of 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 three-man teams within the country who were to receive said cargo. Is it in their hands? It's unknown at this time to me. Okay. But with regard to this ordinance, and this is important to understand when you're talking about a technique or tactic or practice of the enemy that is inside this country, the 3 teams that we're talking about. The suspected type of surface-to-air missile has a range of up to 5 kilometers with a maximum flight height of 4,000 feet. And its speed can reach up to 850 miles per hour. That's over Mach 2 point something, almost Mach 3, with a 1.4 kilogram HE, high explosive warhead. So these are looking at planes that are flying low and slow or on a takeoff or a landing. All right, so that's where we would see this type of attack being taken place. I've worked with surface-to-air missiles before, so has Boz, and we understand that this is not for something to fly up in the stratosphere. This is for something on low and slow, helicopter, or something that is just taking off or on approach. More concerning about this particular ordinance is that the sophistication of its laser targeting system. It has a 360-degree arc on it, which is it's heat seeking. Okay, but it is infrared and it's heat seeking. The time from what we call march to firing is about 10 seconds. That means a dude takes it out of the car, takes it out of a pack. He's got 10 seconds to set it up and fire this thing off. Could easily reach anything that's on approach or on takeoff. So that kind of tells you what it is. Now, here's our analytic considerations. To get 9 surface-to-air missiles across the United States border at a point of entry would require some insider help. There's no way that you're coming across with this type of ordinance at a point of entry, and this was in New Mexico. The specifics are still being held. We talked to our law enforcement and friends and said we'll hang on to some of the information because they're investigating. The only organization that we know of this kind in that area of operations is the Sinaloa cartel. There's a lot of things going on there. I'm going to suggest that if you look a little history on that, I'm not going to go into it a lot here, but we've got a lot of stuff going with Guzman, this guy that's being held in the country, extradition, things like that. There are potentials for other things that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But our analysis indicates that we cannot rule out assistance or direction from upper level management. And that goes all the way to our intelligence community and the Department of Justice. I don't have that. I don't have the specifics on that, but I do know that is being investigated. Since the right answer for them, for us, this is a happenstance finding, but these are things that we cannot hide. We cannot keep to ourselves. For them, their duty is to find, fix, and finish, expose, analyze, and disseminate this type of information. This is time sensitive. It cannot be mulled over any longer. Boz and myself and our team all woke up every morning now going, We can't let this happen on our watch. It doesn't matter the risk. We're willing to take the risk. We're willing to take the hard hits because this kind of stuff, this is like the kid with his finger in the dike. This is the type of stuff. This is a wake up criteria, we call it. Boss, you got to know. Understand this. The 45 team, the Trump team knows about this. He tweeted about it. It's already been out on open source intelligence. That being, another medium that came out. It was on, Health Ranger. He put out some information on this. So people are getting the information. It always leaks. And Abbas will corroborate this. It always leaks. Not from us, but from other places. People hear about it. Hey, guess what? So we've got to get the pressure on our ICDOJ legislators. Look, I am almost convinced that there are legislators on Capitol Hill that are involved in this. Okay. And that's scary to say, and it's hard to say on this medium, but I don't know their names, but they will be found out because there is money that's been transferred to cartels to push something through a point of entry in New Mexico to allow for 9 surface-to-air missiles to make it into our country with the intended target of the former president. So on the evening of the
with the former president in the crosshairs. Now, if you recall, just recently, the Senate unanimously passed legislation to mandate higher Secret Service protection for the presidential nominees of major parties, sending the measure to President Joe Biden's desk. We hope that he signs that. Health Ranger, of course, weighing in. Now, let's go back to this moment here. This was just posted 16 hours ago. Secret Service does say there are 5 assassination teams in the U.S. trying to kill Trump. Matt Gaetz. Let's go to him.
And I'll break a little news for you. I had a senior official from the Department of Homeland Security in my office before the second assassination attempt saying that what he has assessed is that there are 5 known assassination teams in the United States, 3 inspired by other governments, 2 that are here that are known domestic assassination teams. And with that, this individual was coming to me concerned that the force protection around President Trump, even prior to that second assassination attempt, was not sufficient for what it needed to be. And the coordination at that level, at the dignitary protection level, is like the bare minimum that we have to do to keep our presidents, our presidential candidates safe while they're on the trail.
So there are 5, I just want to follow up, 5 assassination teams. Are they all targeting Trump? Is it other officials?
Yes. No, wow. I should have been clear about that. 5 teams that we know are targeting Trump. And so that raises real questions about why certain teams were being pulled off of the Trump detail and put on, for example, the Jill Biden detail. Now, we don't want anything bad to happen to Jill Biden, but at the same time, the threat envelope for her was substantially different than the threat envelope around President Trump.
So that was a report from Matt Gaetz just several days ago that we reported on. Now, News Nation, as I showed you earlier, to give their story credibility, they said they found an RPG on the border so someone could smuggle them in. It is time to stay focused on Trump Force One. Let's dig a little deeper into this actual News Nation Now report. Weapons found on the Mexico side of the border. Border Patrol alert. Border Patroller warns of 4 rocket-propelled grenades and 8 IEDs found. Located on the Mexico side of the southern border near Arizona. Sources say these would not be used on U.S. side of the border. Concerns remain. Yeah. Alert going out to the Border Patrol warns of military-grade weapons being found on the Mexico side of the border near Ajo, Arizona. Ajo. Weapons located per the alert include 4 rocket-propelled grenades, 8 improvised explosive devices known as IEDs, as well as a large amount of ammunition. A scout site was also discovered and then dismantled by Mexican officials. This is one example of the drastic escalation in the type of weaponry being used at the U.S.-Mexico border, Customs and Border Protection sources say. Sources within the agency tell News Nation they're confident that these weapons would not be used on the U.S. side of the border. How can they be confident? How can they be confident in that? I mean, the border is wide open. And now we're learning that rocket-propelled weaponry has made its way into the United States with the intended target of Donald Trump. Sounds like these guys are off the mark. Let's continue. Now, Laura Logan, okay, she says, according to an informant in New Mexico, Trump's plane is the next target for assassination. 9 heat-seeking surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled into the U.S. for this purpose, and there are 3 kill teams already inside the country. Trump has been informed. So have the U.S. intelligence agencies and other authorities. Money's been transferred to a cartel to push this over the border. These people are cornered and vicious. They will stop at nothing. Laura Logan confirming this. A Muse on X. More information is surfacing about the reported threat to Trump Force One. Sources indicate that the Sinaloa cartel smuggled multiple shoulder-fired missiles into the U.S. for Iranian-backed militants. With details emerging about the missile type, the cartel involved, and the sponsor, it seems likely that U.S. authorities have disrupted the plot. However, intelligence community likely remains concerned about potential undiscovered plots that could be in the works. The 9K-32 Strela-2 is a shoulder-fired surface-to-air missile system that has been used in several attacks on civilian aircraft. Notable incidents include the downing of 2 Vickers Viscount airlines in Rhodesia in 78 and 79, both shot down near Karaba Dam, resulting in heavy casualties. In 83, UNITA used a Strela-2 to bring down a TAG Boeing 737 in Angola. In 1998, Congolese rebels downed a Boeing 727 with an SA-7. These are a few examples of its deadly impact on civilian aviation. There are reports, most recently aired on Fox News, that the Secret Service has credible intelligence that Trump Force One may be the target of an assassination armed with shoulder-fired missiles. As a result, the Secret Service is recommending the Trump campaign use multiple unmarked charter jets to transport the former president and campaign staff. No one from the campaign is confirming or denying these rumors or reports. This is developing. And there you can see a photograph of some of the hardware that's being deployed outside of Trump Force One. My goodness. Defender of the Republic 8 hours ago. There's the publicly known assassination attempts and lawfare. Then there's things like this. Intelligence uncovered a coordinated attempt to attack Trump's plane. Thank you to the brave patriots, Doc Pete Chambers and Basil Baz, for working to help intercept this scheme. There's Trump's plane. 2 independent sources have provided corroborating reports to our team stating 9 surface-to-air missiles have entered the U.S. 11 hours ago, President Trump still using his plane as he went to New York today. The Border Patrol just found a cache of weapons in the Mexico border that included RPGs and IEDs. Intel sources indicate multiple surface-to-air missiles smuggled into U.S. across open southern border. Trump Force One is the target. Laura Logan confirming, and Vanderseel confirming, Mike Adams confirming, Matt Gaetz, of course. So this is an all-hands-on-deck situation, and I'll go back to this.
Shocking discovery, really representing what CBP is calling a drastic escalation in the type of weaponry being used over in Mexico. So we were able to exclusively obtain an internal alert that went out to Border Patrol. Now, this alert said that 4 rocket-propelled grenades, or RPGs, and 8 improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, were found, along with a large amount of ammunition within a scout site that was also dismantled by Mexican officials.
U.S. law.
So as we grapple with this chilling threat to Trump Force One, we're left with more questions and answers. Is this a desperate move by the deep state, a foreign attack on American soil, or something even more sinister? One thing is clear. Our nation's security is hanging by a thread. And we need your insights, patriots. What do you think is really behind this missile threat? And how should we respond? How should Trump's team respond? Should he be traveling in unmarked planes? I'm reading your comments. Should he go into a bunker? He said no threat is going to deter him from saving this country. So sound off in the comments below and let your voice be heard. All right, let's get to your comments in real time right now. What are you saying? Lori McDonald says, can't Trump Force One fly pretty high? Yes, but these missile systems are designed to be used, as you heard, on approach or on when they're landing. So even it's not going to have any effect if it's up high. But whoever is intending to use these, they're going to be in a proximity when the plane is on approach or taking off. Okay? That's when they are the most vulnerable. Where are our military, our heroes like SEAL Team 6? J.D. Hodge, watch the language. Trump knows their playbook. It's both foreign and domestic, says Timothy. Mastro Mike, I was thinking the same thing. He should use another plane or a private jet, but he will be president for 4 years. They will have to worry for that much time. There is no security left, says Joseph. Continuing on. Your comments are crucial to this conversation. Remember, the more you comment, the more you affect the algorithm and push this show further into the YouTube ecosystem. Okay, let's get to our next topic. In a twist that reads like a political thriller, Nathan Wade, the alleged lover of Fulton County DA Fani Willis, is in the crosshairs of a high-stakes manhunt. After being served and observed, not served by Laura Loomer, but confronted by Laura Loomer, Wade seemingly vanished, failing to respond to the subpoena. Now, U.S. Marshals have been called in to track him down. This isn't just about a man evading legal obligations, about the integrity of our justice system. What is Wade hiding? And how does this impact the ongoing legal battle surrounding Trump? Now, patriots, in these uncertain times, your safety on the road is more crucial than ever. Introducing Car Vision X, the ultimate dash cam that's got your back 24/7. Recent reports show drivers with dash cams are 60% less likely to be found at fault in accidents. This is not just a camera, it's your personal road guardian. With 4K Ultra HD night vision, 24/7 motion detection, you'll have full, irrefutable evidence of every incident. Don't let legal battles drain your wallet. Visit carvisionx.com now for free express shipping and exclusive bonuses. Drive with confidence, knowing that you are protected. Remember, in today's world, if you're not recording, you are not safe. Okay, so let's just set the stage again here. Nathan Wade found and he was served. Here is Laura Loomer confronting Fani Willis' lover, an ex-Trump prosecutor, disguised as a bodyguard, putting an end to the U.S. Marshals manhunt. Well, I don't think that manhunt has ended.
Hey, Fani, how come you haven't complied with the Judiciary Committee's request for your communications with the January 6th committee? Did Joe Biden promise you a position at the DOJ during his second administration? Are you going to be ordering Grey Goose tonight, paying in cash? You say that Donald Trump is violating the law, but you haven't even sent your communications with the J6 committee that was requested by the Judiciary Committee.
So there you have it. She gets Loomered, confronted. House GOP unable to find disgraced Trump prosecutor Nathan Wade to issue subpoena amid Fani Willis probe. It appears that Fani Willis lover Nathan Wade is on the run and or in hiding. Maybe they should check Fani Willis's bedroom, or maybe that cabin they rented. Yeah. Republicans have been attempting to serve a subpoena to Wade, but they have no idea where he is. House Judiciary Committee asked U.S. Marshals to serve Nathan Wade with a subpoena. 5 hours ago, breaking news, Nathan Wade has now been served with a congressional subpoena regarding the Fani Willis fiasco. Here is a copy Mr. Wade, the Committee on the Judiciary Committee, continues to conduct oversight of politically motivated prosecution by state and local officials. Nice little 2-page document there. So it appears he's been served, but he's still missing. In fact, there was a report on this. Let's listen.
Lover boy Nathan Wade is missing. The House Judiciary Committee, which is investigating Georgia DA Fani Willis, needs Wade to testify at a hearing tomorrow on their love affair. But no one can find the guy. They're trying to serve him, but he's flown the coop, and now the U.S. Marshals are in a manhunt to track him down. Have they checked the condo?
Have they checked the condo? Have they checked the cabin? Have you seen me? You may want to check Fani Willis's blank. So as you know, we have Nathan Wade, who was caught in a relationship with Fani Willis, pulled off of the Trump case in Georgia, disgraced, and now he's being dragged before Congress, the House Judiciary Committee.
Try and locate. House Republicans plan to escalate their investigation into Nathan Wade, a former special prosecutor in Fulton County, Georgia, by subpoenaing him to appear for a deposition. But Wade appears to be missing in action. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan had ordered Wade in a subpoena to appear for the closed-door interview as part of the committee's investigation into Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's prosecution of former President Donald Trump. Wade has been unresponsive to emails from the committee about the subpoena, and his silence has led Jordan to take the unusual step of asking U.S. Marshal Service to try and locate Wade in Georgia to serve him. A Republican lawyer familiar with the matter said that the U.S. Marshal Service has not been able to find Wade, and that, quote, at this point, we know he's trying to avoid service, end quote. Wade's law office did not respond to a request for comment from the Washington Examiner. Willis hired Wade to lead her prosecution of Trump in 2021, but an undisclosed romantic relationship between the pair led Wade to resign from the case in March. Willis is facing the prospect of disqualification from the case over her relationship with Wade.
I regret that private matter became the focal point of this very important prosecution.
Jordan's attempt to subpoena Wade comes after the Georgia lawyer backed out of appearing voluntarily for a scheduled interview after initially agreeing to the appearance. The House Judiciary Committee began investigating Wade, observing how he made nearly $700,000 billing Fulton County for his services while in a relationship with Willis for at least part of the time he worked for her. Willis argued that she gained nothing financially from the relationship, and she split costs with Wade when they would spend time together.
Yeah, sure. I believe that, right? So House GOP unable to find disgraced Trump prosecutor. It's all over the web right now. Fox News covering it as well. So we're going to keep tabs on this. But it's simple. Just check the cabin. Check the bedroom. He's probably right there with her. So as the manhunt for Nathan Wade intensifies, we're left with a tangled web of questions. Why is he evading the subpoena? What secrets could be so damaging that he'd risk legal consequences to keep them hidden? And most importantly, how does this affect the case against Trump? We're witnessing a real-time erosion of trust in our justice system. Now we want to hear from you, patriots. What do you think Wade's disappearing act means for the future of the case? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's get your comments in real time in the chat room. Let's get into it. What are you guys saying? He's probably hanging out in the cabin, right? They're drinking some Grey Goose and hanging out, right? He was with her daughter when she got arrested. When the daughter got arrested, yes, I remember that. Bunch of unethical crooks, says Random American. Maybe hanging out with Big Mike, says Papa. Deborah is chiming in on her smartphone in California. What's up? Wade has... No, I don't think so. Strange Marvel theories. Who hired these geniuses? Asked Jeff. President Trump should do video rallies from Mar-a-Lago. He can't save America if he's no longer around. I don't know. I don't think Trump's going to back down. No, that's not going to happen. He's not going to let any threat stand in the way. Sassafras says they're probably at the freak-off in Hotlanta. Wade is hiding in Biden's basement. John says he's running scared. A no-show means arrests can be made. Probably at the freak-off. Oh, man. Trump's family will step up if they get Trump, and the world will counter. Oh, man. He was dispatched, says doctor. He knows too much. Wade is visiting his friend Diddy. All right, let's get into topic segment number 3. Breaking news out of the Big Apple Patriots. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on 5 federal charges, including wire fraud and bribery. But here is the kicker. This comes hot on the heels of Adams speaking out against the migrant crisis overwhelming his city. Coincidence? We think not. Is this a case of political retribution, or is there more to the story? And with a radical anti-police activist next in line for the mayor's office, what does this mean for the future of America's largest city? Now listen up, patriots. While politicians play musical chairs, you need to focus on what really matters. I'm talking about your health, and that is where the legendary Chuck Norris comes in. At 84, he is still kicking butt and taking names. How? By making one simple change that has transformed his life. Now, he and his wife feel decades younger with energy to spare. Chuck's made a special video explaining it all, and trust me, you do not want to miss this. Head over to chuckdefense.com/next or click the link below. This isn't just about staying fit. It's about reclaiming your youth and vitality. Don't wait. Your future self will thank you. So what happened with Mayor Eric Adams? We've got a video clip we're going to play for you. I think really sets the entire stage for what's happening now. But before we do, let's check out NTD with the breaking story.
Welcome to NTD Evening News. Our top story tonight, the much anticipated indictment against New York City Mayor Eric Adams was unsealed today. Our legal correspondent, Arlene Richards, has details on the charges. Hurricane Helene is set to bring a serious storm surge to northwestern Florida. Officials are urging residents to evacuate. The Category 3 storm could cause significant damage across a large part of the southeastern U.S. Christina Corona with the weather update. President Biden announcing billions of dollars more in aid for Ukraine, and Vice President Kamala Harris appearing with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky criticized suggestions that Kyiv should cede territory for the sake of peace with Moscow. Jack Bradley in D.C. Israeli forces are keeping up the pressure on Hezbollah, killing another high-level commander in Lebanon. Law enforcement involved in Capitol Hill. Receptive to those possibilities today at a court hearing in Manhattan. Melina Weiskup has more from attorneys for both Trump.
Okay, so NTD television did not cover the spot, but President Trump reacted to the news today.
When I will say this, I watched about a year ago when he talked about how the illegal migrants are hurting our city and the federal government should pay us and we shouldn't have to take him. And I said, you know what? He'll be indicted within a year. And I was exactly right, because that's what we have. We have people that use the Justice Department and the FBI at levels that have never been seen before. So I wish him luck. I don't know anything about what he did, but I told a lot of people right over there, that group was saying, you know, sir, you were right about that. When they mentioned that, I said, they came in and he was pretty strong about it. He said, this is really unfair to make us carry this burden. We shouldn't be doing this. This is New York City. I mean, your parks are loaded up. I just passed recently Madison Avenue, the Roosevelt Hotel. It's like nobody would recognize it. That's Midtown. But he came out very strongly against it. He was right, by the way, because it's ruining our country. He was honest. And I said, he will be indicted within a year. And that's what happened. And I noticed the indictment's very old. It goes back a long time. Well, I had the same thing. They went way before the statute of limitations. So I wish him well, but I said that he will be indicted because he did that. You take a look. That's what they do. These are dirty players. These are bad people. They cheat and they do anything necessary. These are bad people. And we need an honest Justice Department. We need an honest FBI, and we need it fast. Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly do need it fast. So you may be wondering what caused all this. Well, people are speculating it was these very comments. If you're wondering why the system turned on one of its own, here's Tommy Lahren. That was her comment on this post. Exactly 1 year ago, Mayor Eric Adams admitted off script that the migrants are destroying New York City. Listen to this. This is about 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
No support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian-speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem. Every community in this city is going to be impacted. We had a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city is going to be impacted. All of us. And so I say to you, as I turn it over to you, this is some of the most educated, some of the most knowledgeable, probably more of my commissioners and deputy commissioners and chiefs live in this community. So as you asked me a question about migrants, tell me what role you played. How many of you organized to stop what they're doing to us? How many of you were part of the movement to say, we're seeing what this mayor is trying to do and they're destroying New York City? It's going to come to your neighborhoods. All of us are going to be impacted by this. I said it last year when we had 15,000. I'm telling you now, with 110,000, the city we knew we're about to lose. And we're all in this together, all of us. Staten Island saying, send them out to Manhattan. Manhattan is saying, send them out to Queens. Queens is saying, send them out to Brooklyn. No, it's not the game we can play. Open the floor up.
Lawfare is a bitch. That was my reaction. Bill Ackman, he said, I don't know whether Eric Adams is guilty or innocent. He does, however, deserve the presumption of innocence. I do know that Eric loudly spoke the truth on the migrant problem in New York City and what the consequences would be for New Yorkers and the country. Doing so required bravery, as sharing these views publicly as a Democrat mayor did not win him any friends in the party or with the Biden-Harris administration. Having witnessed the weaponization of our country's prosecutorial resources, sadly, I have to say, I am that much more skeptical when indictments are announced against someone whose views are not welcome by the party in charge. One would hope that our political system indictments would only be brought in cases where the probability of conviction is very high, as it is beyond a reasonable doubt that the accused is guilty. Sadly, I am less confident that the system works that way anymore. The justice system is forever tainted because of the lawfare that is occurring in this country now. Here is the mayor reacting to the charges.
My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target, and a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit. My fellow.
Now you know how Donald Trump feels, buddy. Here is, he got heckled today. Mayor Eric Adams was heckled by black people outside of Gracie Mansion for making his indictment about race and surrounding himself with black supporters. Listen to this.
This is not a grad in New York saying that this is not a black day. This is not a black day. This is a youth thing. This is a youth thing, Eric Adams. This is not a black day. Your policies are anti-black. You are a disgrace to all black people in this city. The things that you have done are unconscionable. You hurt our schools. Our streets are dirty. Our children are harassed by the police. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You can shush me all you want, but the people are with us. And this is not a black day. This is a justice day.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here this morning. And I want to thank the supporters of all ethnic groups.
Oh, wow. So he's getting heat from all sides, from the people on the ground, from the federal government. Donald Trump, of course, weighing in. But everybody's asking the question now, is it because he spoke out against the immigration crisis, which leads directly to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the border czar? Now, some on the left are already stating, you guys on the right are just trying to shoehorn this moment here you see on the screen, shoehorn this moment into your narrative to justify the lawfare attacks. But can you draw the line? Can you connect the dots? If you speak against the establishment, the established order, and their narrative, what happens? Look what's happening to Alex Jones, Donald Trump, countless conservatives. They don't care what party you are in. They will go after you regardless. And this is proof positive of that. New York is falling because they cannot handle the influx of immigration. Mayor Adams spoke out about it. Small towns across this nation are all feeling the pressure of what has happened at the border and the policies of the Biden administration. Small towns in Ohio, Pennsylvania, all over the United States, they can't handle it. And the biggest city in the country, the mayor speaking out, now a target. You tell me. So as the dust settles on this bombshell indictment, we're left to wonder about the true motivations behind it. Is Adams being punished for speaking truth to power about the migrant crisis? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg of a larger corruption scandal? With a potential leadership change looming, what's next for the Big Apple? We want to hear from you. Your take, Patriots. Is this justice served or political persecution? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Okay, folks, let's get your real-time reaction to this news. We covered it briefly as it was breaking last night. Of course, one thing we always like to do here at the Next News Network, we don't always want to just jump on a story. We have to let the dust settle so we can get a full picture. A lot of people jump the gun, and I do not like to do that. Some people will complain, well, Gary, you're late on the news. Well, it's because I'm being strategic in my analysis and distribution of the facts. Because I have to. I have to get it right. James says, just like they did to President Trump. Carla, Obama took the Illinois governor down when challenged. Shonda, by the looks of Adam's surroundings, he's clearly a black supremacist. I think we did. Did we get a Yes, we did get a Rumble rant. What's up, Marky Mark? Thanks for the $5. Should be talking about the Pope rejecting Christ, saying that all religions lead to God, and the Pope's new made-up sins about the environment. A new one-world religion, Bible prophecies happening in real life. Yes, they are. In fact, Marky Mark, I know exactly what you're referring to, and we did post about that on our X account. I remember seeing the Pope talking about that. And I am a student of Bible prophecy. That's what got me into all this at a very young age. I would always ask my mother about the future. She handed me the Bible. She pointed to scripture. She gave me books. And I started to understand about the world around me. And that is what has created my worldview, is the scriptures. That is my foundation. It is the scripture. And I would spend countless hours scouring the headlines for the signs of Christ's return. That's all I did. And that's what I still do every day. Because I do believe that Christ is returning soon, and all things are pointing to that moment. Especially when you have a pope that advocates as he has. And of course, the red heifer Brian is talking about. Whatever happened to that? They did not sacrifice that red heifer. Everyone was talking about the red heifer, and they didn't. Brian says maybe they did. We don't know. I think we would know if that red heifer was sacrificed. Diane says UK is in bad shape. Could come here. Huma Abedin's engaged to baby Soros. Yes, we're aware of that. Let's see. I love this testimonial, Gary. You rock. Thank you, Nanya. Yeah, that's my foundation. A lot of people don't know that. I got some really amazing testimonials with my relationship with God and Christ and healing, and I can only give glory to God for keeping me here in this chair, keeping me talking to you, protecting me. Now giving me the backing of the state of Texas to protect this channel and bring truth to the entire conservative YouTube community. Buckle up, folks. What's about to be revealed is going to change the game. And let me just tell you, we've already put in our Freedom of Information Act requests. Stuff that would never be revealed. But the state of Texas has taken action. Buckle up. Okay, let's get to our next topic here. This is beautiful. This is actually beautiful here. Okay. All right. In a twist, it's got the mainstream media scratching their heads. A recent CNN survey of children has backfired spectacularly. The results? Kids across the political spectrum are showing a clear preference for Trump over Kamala. But it's not just about popularity. These young voices are delivering a scathing indictment of Harris's credibility. So what does this tell you about the future of our nation? And more importantly, what are our children seeing that so many adults seem to be missing? Well, patriots, let's talk about pain. We've all dealt with it. What if I told you there's a revolutionary way to find relief without dangerous pills? Enter canalidine, the natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. Pioneered by medical scientist Clint Winters, this 100% drug-free solution has become the go-to for over 1 million Americans and countless pro athletes. It works by optimizing your body's natural painkillers, giving you relief like you are in your prime. I was skeptical, but it works. So click the link below to watch Clint's report and access this game-changing product for less than $1 a day. Don't let pain hold you back any longer. Out of the mouths of babes, they say, right? Remember that old show? They would ask kids questions. I think it was actually Bill Cosby. Wasn't it Bill Cosby? They had that TV show. Well, I was browsing the news feed this morning, and these kids just kept popping up in the feed. And I'm looking for all these stories. I'm like, okay, what am I going to bring everyone today? What's going to be what's on the agenda? And these kids just kept popping up. I'm like, okay, all right, God, this is what you want me to send. This is what you want me to show. Well, here it is.
It'd be good for us to have a black woman as president for the first time in history. Yeah. But my vote's kind of still on Trump. It'd be
Which one was
for us?
Okay, that's a little meme to wet your whistle. Here's another post. Benny Johnson, CNN, Democrat-leaning kids were about 9 times more likely to express negative emotions about Donald Trump than Republican-leaning kids were about Harris. Republican-leaning kids were more open to visiting a Democrat-supporting household. Listen to this.
Overall, the biggest finding, the children in the study were polarized, with what researchers called more extreme responses from the blue state kids than the red state kids.
Donald Trump, he did bad things. He's like Hitler.
He only wanted to be president so that he can just control everybody.
Trump is supporting January 6th now. I remember that January 6th, it was a bunch of Republicans believing Trump. I feel like they thought Trump was a god. People got arrested. I think one officer died afterwards. That was a big day.
The study found that these Democrat-leaning kids were about 9 times more likely to express negative emotions about Donald Trump than Republican-leaning kids were about Kamala Harris. Why might that be? Psychologist Ashley Landrum has some ideas.
So Donald Trump is a very polarizing figure, and it's very possible that the kids are reacting to their parents reacting to Donald Trump being a very different kind of political figure than what we've seen before. So do the red state kids hold as strong of attitudes? Well, not when we're talking about Kamala Harris. In part, that could be because they don't know that much about her.
Landrum was also curious about how kids saw their peers in the political divide.
So do you think that the kids that live in those two houses would be friends with each other?
They can.
They can?
There's no law breaking that.
It doesn't matter if you are different by skin color, or it doesn't matter if you are different by people. You can still be friends.
The study found that Republican-leaning kids were more open to visiting a Democrat-supporting household. The Democrat-leaning kids were about 5 times more likely to say they would not want to go to a pro-Trump house.
Would they be okay with you going over to somebody's house who is really supportive of President Trump?
No.
No? And why not?
Because they know that he's not like black people, so they will not be happy to see me.
Would your family let you go over to somebody's house who's really supportive of Donald Trump?
No.
No, they wouldn't?
No.
And why not?
Because, my mom and dad don't like Donald Trump at all. Not a single bit.
Would you be okay going over to somebody's house whose family really likes Kamala Harris?
I think it'd be fine. It's just about the personality of the people.
Would your family be okay if you went over to somebody's house who really liked Donald Trump?
If I want to be real over here, so if I just went over there, I imagine be a good old argument or a fight. Maybe like a food fight or something.
A food fight or something, right? Well, this young boy really stole the show. What's the first word that pops into your head when you think of Kamala Harris?
What's the first word that pops What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
What's the first?
I love it. I love it. But of course, the indoctrination of the parents down to the children that Donald Trump is Hitler is permeating the youth. Yes, as you heard it. But we do have some good news on the horizon here. Voter turnout is beating the cheat. We are going to make this too big to rig. Donald Trump posting a Daily Mail headline Exclusive, Donald Trump opens up a big lead in our election model. The win odds 55 to 44. Donald Trump with a 10.6 lead over Kamala Harris. So out of the mouths of babes, right?
It'd be good for us to have a black woman as president for the first time in history. Yeah. But my vote's kind of still on Trump. It'd be good for.
And of course, Donald Trump is losing the African American vote big time. So the wisdom of children has always been underestimated, but the CNN survey might just change that. These kids have cut through the political noise and delivered a verdict it's hard to ignore. But what does this mean for the future of our political landscape? Are we witnessing the birth of a new, more discerning generation of voters? We want to hear from you, patriots. What do you think these survey results say about the state of our nation? Share your insights in the comments below. All right, folks, let's get your insights in real time right now. Let's see. Leandra says, this is Leandra from Kentucky. I appreciate what you do and pray for you. Thank you so much. You go through this to bring to us. I pray for all of us and Donald Trump, for he is only trying to save us. Looks like we got another Rumble rant from Marky Mark, dropping another 5 spot. Thank you. Some big words for them kids. Looks like those kids were being coached. Guess that's better than being groomed in schools. Paying money to see Harris. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Nice action from Marky Mark on Rumble. If you want your tweet or your message to be featured on the show, head on over to Rumble. Make sure you follow us there and drop us a Rumble rant, and we will highlight your comment for the world to see. Yes, there are 4,595 people watching across all platforms. So it's a pretty big soapbox for you. Let me just say. Protect Trump and pray and pray and pray, everyone, says Kitsy. Stupid, plain and simple. Now, if you're joining us and you want to know more about those missiles that are on U.S. soil, just scroll back to the beginning of the stream while we're still live, and you can catch all that information if you're joining us late. Mike Taylor says that black female kid is OG. Can't trust the surveys, says Roberta. Let's see. Good channel, brother. Semper Fi. Thank you, Sarge. President Trump, J.D. Vance will win on November 5th. King Trump rocks. Let kids be kids. They watch and listen, says Pothead Kenny. Those kids have no idea what's really going on. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Okay, let's get to our next segment of the evening. Just getting it set up for you here. Let's see. Do we start with RFK or do we start with Rogan? We'll find out soon enough. Brace yourselves, patriots, because what we're about to reveal will send chills down your spine. We've uncovered shocking footage of Vice President Kamala Harris openly discussing her plans to clamp down on social media platforms and restrict your speech. This is not just political posturing, it's a direct assault on our First Amendment rights. But there is a twist. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is stepping up to the plate, calling out this blatant censorship agenda. So as the battle for free speech heats up, we are left wondering, is this the beginning of the end for our constitutional freedoms, or will the American people rise up to defend their rights? Now, patriots, in these turbulent times, taking care of your health is more critical than ever. And let's face it, these wrinkles are not just about vanity. They're a sign that your body's collagen reserves are depleting. After 20, you lose 12% of collagen each decade, but there's a secret. Our magic powder combines the top 5 types of collagen to revitalize your skin from within. Not just about looking younger. It's about feeling rejuvenated. Today, you can get this miracle worker at 51% off plus free VIP coaching, an ebook, and more. Visit healthwithgary.com or click below. Don't just age amazingly. Okay, so let's just start with RFK here. Got a lot of clips to get into. We got the evidence, and this just was released. Marjorie Taylor Greene's parody account, a press release account. OMG, Robert F. Kennedy just dropped the mic on Kamala for not believing in free speech. RFK Jr. is waking up millions of Americans. Let's listen.
To me, it's a disqualifier to be president of the United States if you don't believe in freedom of speech. And Vice President Harris has repeatedly said that the First Amendment is a privilege, not a right. That the government has a duty to censor what she calls misinformation and disinformation, that's not protected by the First Amendment. That's a very dangerous word, misinformation. First of all, the First Amendment protects all speech. It protects lies. It protects, it was passed not to protect convenient speech, but to protect the speech that nobody wants to hear. And when the government takes upon itself the right to decide what's true and what's not true, then you have a totalitarian system, because of course it's going to, and we saw this during COVID, where the government was really the biggest propagator of misinformation, of factually inaccurate information, that it then uses the control of information to manipulate the public.
RFK Jr. dropping the mic right there. Of course, if you missed it, he's clearly talking about the rhetoric that's coming out of the mouths of the Harris campaign.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
It's a republic, buddy.
He has lost his privileges, and it should be taken down. And
she's talking about Elon Musk here.
Bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation, and that has to stop. He has lost his privilege.
We will double the Civil Rights Division and direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms, because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy. And if you profit off of hate, if you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community.
I can't be the only one who thinks this is not okay. It's the First Amendment. And no politician, I don't care who you're voting for, whether it's Kamala, Trump, or that one weird guy who was babbling about on stage. We don't even know where he is now. We don't even know if he's still the president. I don't care who you support, but no one should be okay with a politician saying they're going to restrict your First Amendment right on social media platforms. I don't give a fuck about mouth-breathing racists spewing hateful bullshit online. It's the First Amendment. And for the people who are like, oh, no, it's a private platform and your First Amendment doesn't account. Shut the fuck up. Yes, it does. Because this is a government telling a private company to censor people's First Amendment right on their platform. That
guy's got some colorful language. Before we get into I got this next clip lined up for you guys, but before we do that, I got this Joe Rogan clip here. We're going to play in just a moment of his reaction to this, but I want to throw it back to what I saw in Milwaukee when Tucker Carlson gave that warning. Let's listen.
You've never seen. So I would say hone your spidey senses these next 6 weeks, because you're going to be lied to at a volume with a level of aggression you've never seen before. And the command will always be the same. Ignore what's right in front of your face. You didn't see that. That's not real. You're crazy. That's really the message. You're crazy. You can only trust us. The rest is disinformation. Okay. First of all, anyone who uses the phrase disinformation is a liar. We're done.
Go Tucker, man.
Disinformation is not a category. There's only one category: truth or falsehood. That's it. Disinformation is another way of saying you're saying something that's inconvenient to me. You are criticizing me. I don't like what you're saying. Shut up or go to jail. That's not a valid category. That's totalitarianism. That's tyranny. So anyone who uses the word disinformation is immediately on the liar's side. Don't listen to another word. That person is your enemy. Listen only to people who care about the only thing that is worth caring about, which is it true or not? Is it actually true? And the people who care about whether it's true are your guides through a dark time, and they're your only guides, and there are not many of them.
And we do try to be your guide through all of this disinformation landscape that's just being spewed from the media and from people like...
Even in some in 2016, boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrence, because boosting Trump back in 2016.
Hillary Clinton, always. Here's another one.
Even if we were to have a resounding...
Paula Collins proposes re-education camps for Trump supporters.
Even if we were to have a resounding blue wave come through, as many of us would like, putting it all back together again after we've gone through this MAGA nightmare, and re-educating, basically, which that sounds like a rather a re-education camp. I don't think we really want to call it that. I'm sure we can find another way to bring it. Even if we were to...
Let's not call it a re-education camp. Can we find another word? But it's going to be the same thing. This is what they want to do to you, because you choose to make a post on social media. Over in the UK, they're arresting people right now. They're breaking down their doors. Yeah, we're going to get to Joe Rogan's reaction in a moment here. But if you didn't know this, we did a story on this, I don't know, a couple days ago. Gavin Newsom signing a bill to make memes illegal in the state of California. You can no longer knowingly distribute an ad or other election communication that contains materially deceptive content. Manipulating a voice in an ad like this one should be illegal. I'll be sending a bill in a matter of weeks to make sure it is. Of course, he signed the bill. And I'm going to be very clear about this because, you know, there are now all these new rules about manipulated content, Gavin Newsom making it illegal. The Babylon Bee. I love those guys. And, of course, Mr. Reagan, who kicked this whole bee's nest off with his parody ad for Kamala Harris. It triggered Gavin Newsom to oblivion. But this is the Babylon Bee's response to Gavin Newsom.
Hi, I'm Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. This is a message for the people of America, given in my authentically recorded, non-AI voice. Thanks to my leadership over the last several years, California has become a world leader in extremist, left-wing governance. My policies were so effective that almost 1 million people are now fleeing the state every year. We even ran out of U-Hauls. During the COVID pandemic, I locked everyone in their homes and shut down businesses for months. Not the French Laundry, though. That's my favorite restaurant. Last year, I cleaned up the dangerous, messy streets of San Francisco, because Chinese Communist President Xi was coming, and I really wanted to impress him. He's my boss, after all. This year, I signed legislation that allows me to take custody of your kid if you refuse to give him artificial hormones and chop off his genitals. Because if you don't do that, you're a bigot, and bigots shouldn't be allowed to have kids. I've also led the way in green energy by banning all cars that don't run on electricity. Then I banned almost all the electricity. This is smart leadership. On my watch, the cost of living and homelessness have skyrocketed. Schools are failing. Drug dealers and human traffickers are pouring across the border. And poop has covered the sidewalks of San Francisco. This is the positive, joyful vision we offer as Democrats. That's why I'm enthusiastically endorsing Kamala Harris for president in 2024. She'll do to the country everything I did in California. Anyway, I'm California Governor Gavin Newsom, and I approve this 100% real message, which is a recording of my voice without the assistance of any AI whatsoever. This isn't a deep fake, and you can rest assured that it isn't, because I just signed an unconstitutional law outlawing deep fakes. No one would dare violate it. Thank you, and science bless America. Hi, I'm Gavin Newsom, the governor.
Okay, so I do need to provide a disclosure because the overlords at YouTube require it. That was, in fact, a deep fake. That was an AI-generated voice. I don't want anyone to get confused. This is the world we're in, though, folks. That was the Babylon Bee. I know you guys are waiting to hear what Joe Rogan's response to all this. Joe Rogan warns the First Amendment is in danger if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz win. Let's listen.
It's all opinion.
The more we have platforms where that stuff is just free, where you can just say whatever you want, say whatever you think about anything, which really X and Rumble are the only places that I know of that you could really do that right now.
Have you had any problem on audio at all?
No.
Good.
No.
Good. I haven't either.
It's audio is like they're leaving that alone for now. I think it's probably because it's not as easily shared. Right?
That's what's coming next.
Yeah, probably. I mean, all they would have to do is just put images of you and images of me and then have our audio and upload that as a video. And then maybe they would start coming after audio.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope, I just hope this shit starts to turn around.
I do too, but I don't think it turns around if Kamala Harris gets into office. I think they clamp down more. I think the same stuff that they were trying to do with Twitter, they'll try to do with something else and with other things. They've already openly discussed it. She's openly discussed that the same rules have to apply to Facebook, they have to apply to Twitter, and that Elon Musk could lose his privileges. And there's so many wild things that they're saying. Tim Walz said that the First Amendment doesn't apply to misinformation or hate speech. Okay, well, it certainly does. It does. You know, sometimes people say things wrong, and the goal of the First Amendment is you say something wrong, and then this guy who's an expert says the right thing.
Yeah.
And then you correct him.
Yeah, I mean, the misinformation, I mean, it's all opinion.
Right. Well, so much of it turns out to be true. How about masks don't work? You would get screamed at for masks don't work. Well, guess what? They don't fucking work. They don't work. Fauci said masks don't work. Remember that interview before the pandemic, before they knew how big it was going to be?
Yes.
He was like, you don't have to wear a mask.
Then it was wear two.
Then it was wear doubles.
Put two face diapers on.
It's bananas how easily people fell in line. That scared me the most.
I know.
The more...
I'll answer your question out there, okay?
Oh. Wow. We just said a bad thing here, I think. Are we allowed to say that about masks? I don't know. So as we witness this brazen attack on our fundamental freedoms, we're reminded of the fragility of our republic. Kamala Harris' push for censorship isn't just about controlling narratives, it's about controlling minds. But with voices like RFK Jr. joining the fight, there is hope on the horizon. Now we turn to you, our vigilant audience. How far are you willing to go to protect your right to free speech? Share your thoughts and strategies in the comments below. The future of the First Amendment depends on us. All right, let's get back into the chat, see what you guys are saying in real time here. God bless President Trump, says Robin. Our rights matter, says Michelle. They're going to do it again, says Patricia. James says a world full of control freaks. Marky Mark dropping a 2 spot. Newscomb is really becoming a nasty dictator. Recall 2.0 would be awesome. I agree. 100%. Yeah, he did. He did drop 2 5s and a 2. So $12 from him. Awesome. That's sweet. Sarge says, just so you know, nothing I post is monetized. Yep, nothing we post is monetized either. Nancy Pelosi is Gavin Newsom's aunt. Yes, that's true. I think it's through marriage, I believe. Let's see. Babylon Bee, Beach Boys parody song, I Wish We All Could Leave California. That was funny, Lamb's Grace. It was. It definitely was. Bliznatch says, my cat got taken. Oh, no. Do you know the way from San Jose? Excuse me. San Jose. I don't know. Pardon me. Let's check in on the feed real quick. Brian, are we going to have to edit out that mask comment? I don't know. I got to look back at all the YouTube policies and see if that was, if we're even allowed to talk about that. Let's see. Okay, let's get to the feed itself and check in with what is the latest happenings on the news feed. Let's see. Trump's going to run the table. He might even win California if all you schlubs all rise up and vote like we need to save America from K-Lo from San Francisco. Let's see. What is this guy saying here?
President Trump surging up in Arizona, up in Nevada, up in Georgia, up in North Carolina, only down by 3, get this, in Virginia, right? He should be down by 10, he's down by 3. That's now in play. Maine could be in play. Now let's go to Pennsylvania. 3 polls have that tied. Guess what? 2016 and 2020, all polls were at least 4.5 points off Trump's actual vote in Pennsylvania. If it's tied, he's up by 4. 3 polls have it tied. Another poll's got him tied in Wisconsin. If they're tied, if Harris and Trump are tied in Wisconsin, Harris is going to lose that. She's going to lose Michigan. Trump is going to run the table. Let me give you more good news in Pennsylvania. You probably didn't know this. In 2020, the Democrats, this is mind-boggling, they had a 600,000 vote discrepancy margin between registered Democrats and registered Republicans in Pennsylvania. They were up plus 600. 4 years later, that's cut in half. They're only up 300. 300 more people, 300,000 more people in Pennsylvania have registered as Republicans than they were in 2020. So the gap went from 600,000 to 300,000. It's a stunning number. Let me give you another number on mail-in ballots. You guys are doing great, voting early. Thank you. On mail-in ballots. Right now, Harris is 35% behind where Biden was in mail-out ballot applications in Pennsylvania. They are about 360,000 mail-in ballot applications short today of where they were in 2020. Nothing is working right now for the Harris campaign. She went to Pittsburgh yesterday. She made another fool of herself. Basically, I don't even want to play you the clip. It's all over the place saying we need to stop what we've done the last 4 years. Well, it's your policies. This is unbelievable. All Trump's got to do is stay on message, stay on target. Let's do what we're doing. Vote early. We're going to win.
Amen. We are going to win. Here is... do you understand now when P. Diddy said, when I go down, everyone will go down? Okay. Yeah, he's been hanging out with a lot of people. Let's see. Gavin calls black and brown people criminals? What? What is this? At the 1:15 mark.
Theft crimes. Capitol correspondent
for certain drug and but during this press conference in San Francisco, Governor Newsom argued against the measure.
It's about mass incarceration. It's about bringing it back to 1980s mindset. The impact's going to have on the black and brown community is next level.
But to Newsom's disappointment.
Yeah, that is funny. He did say that, didn't he? More money approved for Ukraine. Billions of dollars. A Coca-Cola boycott is in effect. Their new custom website allows the use of Harris 2024 but prohibits Trump 2024 due to being deemed political in nature or offensive. 50 minutes ago, no matter what that crazy, conniving communist Kamala Harris says about the border, all you need to know is that 75% of Democrats voted not to deport the illegal alien predators. Fani Willis visited the White House for a 5-hour meeting with Kamala Harris before indicting Donald Trump. Yes, we're aware of that. Bishop Patrick Wood responds to very public political persecution of Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Yes, Mark Robinson has been under fire. He is an effective speaker, and they're terrified of Mark Robinson. I think that guy needs to just keep going to the stratosphere. I would love to see him run for president at some point. He would have even been a great VP pick, although his presence is huge. His voice, his message, it's all on point. Now he's being politically persecuted. People allegedly found some old posts of his on some kind of a forum where he made some nasty sexual remarks. And now they're putting it on him. He's denied the allegations. His wife has just come out and put out a political commercial for him in support of him. So they're definitely terrified of Mark Robinson. And that's when a political figure like Mark Robinson or Donald Trump rise up, then the attacks start to amplify in frequency and intensity. And that's what's happening with Mark Robinson right now. Let's see what Bishop Patrick Wooden is saying here.
That everybody's talking about Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Lena Tillett, Tillet, Tillett, she's one of the major anchors there. She called me and she said to me, she said, Reverend Wooden, I know that sometimes in a service you can get carried away with your amens and carried away with praising the Lord and maybe say amen to some things that you don't mean when you think about later. I said, oh, okay. And we've unearthed some videotape of Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson at your church. So I want to call, we're doing a story. We want to know if do you still feel like that? I said, are you asking me, do I still agree with what Mark Robinson said that night? I said 100%. And I said to her, you did not unearth anything. You didn't find anything. That stuff that was online when he was here, we produced it. We put it out. We sent it out. And I said to her, a good camera work, wasn't it? I'm amazed at some of the things that I've read that the people are getting all bent out of shape about because they want that same stuff in books so children can see it. That's the whole point. The whole point is the fight. He's fighting to keep these things from children. Now, whether this stuff that they've unearthed is him or not, he told me that, he said, that those are not the words of Mark Robinson. And I believe him. I believe him more than I believe this media. Same media told you if you get that shot, you wouldn't get COVID. How did that work out for you? And we're in a day now where they will go back and dig up stuff. So I'm praying for him. I will not join the chorus of people who are quick to dump on him.
And I'm going to give an account for everything that comes out of my mouth and every deed I've done while I'm sat in this seat and any other I may take. And you best believe I'm not going to miss my chance to say certain things. Them things them political advisors say you shouldn't say. Now, what are they? Here's one of them right here. That baby in your womb ain't no clump of cells. And if you kill that child, you're guilty of murder. Stop sacrificing your children to Baal and start honoring the fruit of your womb. You know, I heard somebody say it like this. If you don't want to have no fruit in that womb, don't drop your fruit of the looms. Make your choice before you make your choice.
Oh, so Mark Robinson is currently under fire, as you see. Pray for all the folks down in Florida who are currently getting bombarded by this hurricane. Certainly, they need our prayers. Melania Trump reacting to the second attempted assassination attempt on her husband. Play.
And I ran to the TV and I rewinded and I watched it. I was only a few minutes behind. And something, I guess, look over me. So I didn't really see live, but maybe, 3 minutes, few minutes later. But when I saw it, it was only, nobody really knew yet. Right. Because when you see him on the floor and you don't know what really happened.
And then a few weeks later, there's another attempt on your husband's life at your golf course. Where were you and what was your reaction to this attempt?
I was in New York City, actually. And I saw it on the television. And as soon as I saw it on television, I called again. And he was okay because Secret Service were great. The guys that they were with him, they were fantastic. And I think both of the events, they were really miracles. If you really think about it, the July 13 was a miracle, like that much, and he could not be with us.
And he normally doesn't call for that one screen. He waits till the end of the speech. So just looking at that screen allowed him to turn his head.
I think something was watching over him.
Amen.
I think he's, it's almost like country really needs him. I ran to the TV.
No, God was watching over him. There was an angel that turned his head that day. No question about that. Tampa is completely underwater. Here is Tampa General Hospital holding back the floodwaters from Hurricane Helene with an aqua fence. Unbelievable. Look at that. Kamala Harris says she will support crypto. Here are 3 steps that would show she's serious. Yeah. Sarah Rose says this is disingenuous, fake pandering. Done nothing but steal Trump's ideas because she can't get votes otherwise. That's, of course, what she's doing. Trump goes and does all this stuff with crypto. Kamala has to come up and follow behind. Storm surge of 8+ feet hits Cedar Key as Hurricane Helene slams Florida 12 minutes ago. Massive storm surge, 8.68 feet, recorded in Cedar Key. Perry Foley Airport also reported wind gusts of 99 miles per hour. Look at that. Nathan Wade, of course, we covered that earlier. Subpoena congressional Fannie Willis probe after evading service for nearly a week. Former Trump prosecutor Nathan Wade was served a congressional subpoena Thursday after evading service for nearly a week. Zelensky on Capitol Hill getting his allowance from his sugar daddy, McConnell and Schumer. Newsbusters podcast omitting Kamala's down with deportation chance. We played that for you the other day. Not sure what that's all about. Bill is now giving vitamin cocktails to expectant mothers. How nice of him. And here is the mayor of New York. I am a target. It's payback for complaining about Biden's migrant crisis. That's exactly what we talked about earlier today. Count 1, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, federal program, bribery, and to receive campaign contributions by foreign nationals. Count 2, wire fraud. Count 3, solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national. Count 4, solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national. Count 5, bribery. Here's Dan Bongino. Hey, look, there's me. There's me in my own feed. Tammy Lambert reposted. Wow, 998 hits on the live feed that you're watching right now on X. That's the highest I think we've ever had. That's awesome. Thanks. We got 1,300 hits, 14 hearts, 10 retweets. Should we look at the comments of our own video? It's like Inception. Okay, here we go. Pothead Kenny just flat out must see show here. Can't even say more yeppers. Alfred Callahan. Gary, has anyone asked where this is all heading? I believe it's heading to End Time Bible Events. We want They want to bring in the military-age men because the Democrats will suggest having the illegals join the military to be allowed in. Then the new soldiers will lead the takeover. 11 reposts. Let's see who reposted this. Angie in NYC, Tammy Lambert, Pothead Kenny, Tinkerbell, Connie Stanley, Tammy Holland, Razor Thomas, Jeet, Janet in Sure You Gospel. Cool. 11 reposts. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Wow, almost 1,500 overall views on our X feed. This is so crazy. I'm watching myself. This is funny. It's Inception, literally happening right now. I'm looking at the X feed. Oh my goodness. Oh, this guy, a lot of people having fun with that hurricane. This guy getting video bombed on a weather report. He's going talking, and there's a guy coming up behind him with his Trump flag. No audio on this? All we hear is, hey, get out of the way, man. Get out of the way. There was another clip I was going to play for you earlier. Showed these kids. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, this is it.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Pray for the folks down there in Florida. Kamala says the United States supports Ukraine not out of charity, but because it's in our strategic interests, we will continue to provide the security assistance. Warmonger first, America last. Dementia Joe says the Second Amendment was never absolute. Never, 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 never. Fact check, BS. Yeah, the founders were quite clear about that. My policy is almost ready. I love memes, man. I am huge on the memes. And she's copying Donald Trump. Okay. All right, folks, it's been a great show. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a whirlwind, in fact. So let's recap the bombshells that we have dropped. We exposed a chilling plot targeting Trump Force 1. And if you're just joining us now, you're curious about it, just scroll back to the beginning of the feed and you can catch all of the bombshell information. Discussions of surface-to-air missiles smuggled across our southern border, my friends. It's not just an attack on a former president, it's an attack on the very heart of our republic. We uncovered a dramatic manhunt for Nathan Wade, raising serious questions about the integrity of the case against Trump in Fulton County. New York City Mayor Eric Adams finds himself indicted on federal charges suspiciously timed after he spoke out against the migrant crisis. Coincidence? You be the judge. We revealed the shocking results of a CNN survey where kids across the political spectrum are showing clear preference for Trump over Kamala Harris. Out of the mouths of babes comes wisdom that's puts many of our so-called leaders to shame. And finally, we expose Kamala Harris' blatant attack on free speech with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. stepping up to defend our First Amendment rights. Now, these stories are not just news, they are wake-up calls. They are proof that our freedoms, our security, and the very fabric of our nation are under assault from all sides. But here's the thing. We can't keep bringing you these hard-hitting truths without your support. The powers that be are working overtime to silence us, to shut down anyone who dares to speak out. We need your help to keep this operation running, to keep the light of truth burning in these dark times. So if you believe in what we're doing, if you want to support real unfiltered journalism, then please consider making a donation. Every dollar counts in this fight for truth and freedom. And don't forget to spread the word. Tell a friend about our show. Share our content. Be the voice of truth in your community. Because together we can make a difference. Together we can save this great nation. This is Gary Franchi. You've been watching the Next News Network's Raw feed. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and most importantly, stay free. God bless America, and we will see you next time.